Japan hometown policy for Africans, Charlie, IBs. IBs. The hometown policy that JICA, that is the Japan International Cooperation Agency, in conjunction with the Japanese government, created for 4 African countries that has been in the news in recent times, Charlie, the thing is turning bees. Please don't forget to like this particular video and subscribe to our channel for us. We are based in Japan. The name of the platform is Jafric Radio. We are in Osaka and in Tokyo, and we focus our attention on news that is African-centered news. That is where our interest in. And today we are giving you an update on what has been happening in Japan in relation to immigrants or migrants that are coming from Africa. You remember that recently the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, in conjunction with the Japanese government, launched a new program that they tabbed the hometown policy for 4 African countries, namely Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, and Mozambique. And in this policy, they are saying that it's a hometown policy. Certain portals in Africa that reported the news, including the BBC Pidgin, the African Business Insider, the Tanzanian Times, and an African government, which we later find out to be the government of Nigeria, communicated that it was a program that was going to facilitate or ease visa restrictions or relax the visa regulations for African citizens from these 4 countries to be able to come to Japan and then work. Subsequently, JICA were forced to release a statement to further clarify the situation that the policy was not to ease the visa restriction or to encourage Africans from these 4 African countries to travel to the designated hometowns that were given to these 4 African countries. So what is the latest in relation to what is happening in Japan in relation to immigrants and the hometown policy that was introduced or announced by JICA? Well, in recent times, a number of foreigners have been arriving in Japan from America, from Europe, Africa, and then from other parts of Asia, but mainly their focus is on Africans. Why? Because most Africans who travel to Japan, either for tourism, for whatever purpose, for visit, end up not returning to Africa, and they find themselves in the Japanese system, either to work or find a woman to marry or whichever means. And now this has created a problem for some Japanese citizens who are conservatives, and then they believe that the continuous arrival of more foreigners or more Africans into Japan is creating a lot of problems for the country, and the government should find a way to reduce or restrict or limit the arrival of foreigners into Japan. Now the latest update is that thousands of Japanese citizens who are actually conservatives believe that the government of Japan should find a way to restrict, reduce, or limit the number of Africans who are arriving in the country for whichever purposes. To make their views clear, they have hit the streets of Osaka, mainly Midosuji, to demonstrate against the government of Japan for not tightening the visa regulations to allow more immigrants into the country. Now, let's watch on our screens how the demonstration went and some of the banners that they were holding to pressurize the government to further tighten the visa regulations to restrict immigrants for arriving in Japan. Meanwhile, major companies in Japan are also complaining about labor shortage, especially due to the aging population that Japan has, and this has created a major headache for the government of Japan in terms of how to deal with these issues. So the protests and issues surrounding the immigration policy of the government of Japan, coupled with the aging population, is now a major crisis or a major issue for the government of Japan to deal with, and also to satisfy certain sections of the Japanese citizenry who believe that the number of foreigners arriving in the country should be restricted or should be limited to a certain point in order not to destroy the culture and the fabric of the Japanese society. So let us know what you think in the comment section. Do you actually believe that the demonstrators are right in asking the Japanese government to further tighten the immigration policy of Japan to restrict or reduce the number of foreigners, mainly Africans, from arriving in Japan. They believe that the continuous arrival of foreigners into Japan will destroy the fabric of the Japanese culture, and they are asking the government to find a way to restrict the continuous arrival of foreigners. So please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The name is Jafric Radio Extra. Thank you very much for watching this video.